Is it recording?
Yep.
Oh, guess what?
What's that?
Jack's awake.
Awesome.
I went to go say hi to Jenny real quick because she's back in the room. And as I'm passing the stairs, I said, "Oh, there's a man up there." "Oh, it's Jack." And he said, "Is Jules still here?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Is Jules still here?" And I said, "Why would Jules be here?"
Yeah, it's Monday.
And he said, "Because you do filmographies."
That boy's cool again in my book.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing filmographies.
Here we are with number 8
Yeah.
of the Don McKellar run.
Yep.
When Night is Falling?
Mm-hmm. Who's Calling? London.
Isn't there like a better movie with a similar title?
I believe it is When Night Falls.
Is that with Javier Bardem?
I believe so.
Is he a homosexual poet
And
in Cuba?
you know who else is in there?
Not Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he's like
Plays
prison
3
guard?
roles. Yeah, he's a prison guard. He's a
Prostitute?
and a general.
I've never seen that. You?
Yeah, you kidding me? Before Night Falls. God damn, that movie's good.
So we're this Don McKellar party keeps on chugging along,
Oh, okay.
and we got another winner.
We got a super duper one.
It's got your buddy from Mission Impossible in it.
I can understand you're very upset. Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
Yeah.
He's also in Ready or Not in The Ice Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's the creepy key party hippie guy in The Ice Storm, which I really got to make one of my picks one of these days because you haven't seen it.
So this movie came out in 1995.
Yeah.
It's unrated.
The Year of the Matrix.
Originally, it was submitted for a rating, and it got an NC-17.
Why? It's not an NC-17 movie.
Um,
Because lesbians?
yeah.
That seems unfair.
It gained a small amount of publicity in Canada when the Globe and Mail pulled advertising for the film featuring an image of 2 women almost kissing. So people were like, oh shit. And it's NC-17. So they basically didn't allow it to be rated.
This is almost like a Lifetime movie.
And it came out unrated. There's titties in it.
I know, but other than that,
That's the end of it.
that's all you got?
Yeah. There was a tagline for this film. It was a visual treat on lust.
You see a visual treat on Lust?
Mm-hmm. A visual treat on lust.
I don't think I know. I don't understand.
Like, hey, it looks good and it's sexy, I guess. I don't know. Because I think because of the circus shit, people are like, whoa.
But wouldn't it be a visual treat of lust?
Yeah, but it's on it. Because it's about lust. It's on the subject of lust. Remember her dancing with those light balls?
I can't believe it came back.
I didn't get a budget for this movie, but it did make $919,000.
I bet.
Tits, lesbians, a visual.
I think the one thing this movie has going for it is the gay thing. I think that it does probably a pretty good representation of like somebody who doesn't even know they're gay discovering it, and like that surprise lust of tantalizing, should I touch, I can't touch, I'm not this person, oh my god I must.
It's the Canadian high art.
I know, I thought about that when I was watching it. I was like, this movie's fucking terrible.
More extreme though, because not only is it just, oh, am I gay? It's like, I'm a Christian scholar.
There's no heroin, but there is like, I cannot even take this, I need you.
Immediately. So crazy. So I'm going to ask one thing of you. I need you to hit me with that synopsis.
Gladly. You know, I didn't read them. I know you appreciate it when I don't read them ahead of time.
Yeah.
When night is falling, bored Christian professor Camille Baker Pascal Bussieres decides to spice up her molequitous staid Christian life with soon-to-be husband and co-chaplain of their religious college, Martin Henry Zerny, by having first story her
by having first stored her mysteriously dead dog
in her refrigerator for like 2 weeks, and also falling ass backwards into a wing-ding-schwing fling with local psychotic acrobat shadow dancer Petra, Rachel Crawford, after Petra purposely switches the two's loads of laundry. Conflicted by her schoolgirl crush and recently discovering the joys of tribbing? Oh, I don't think I know that word. Camille must determine if she wants surf or turf. But to paraphrase anal rapist Dr. Tobias Funke, it's all the same in the dark anyways, especially when night is falling.
Tripping.
What is tribbing?
Scissor.
Oh, that's the term?
Trip, 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 trip.
Is it because of trebles?
Probably. I don't know why. Well, I guess I kind of do, but I thought, what's her name? Petra? I thought she was a vampire.
Yeah.
I thought Petra was a vampire.
Have you seen that Cirque du Vampire movie? Is that what's going on?
No, I don't know. I did watch a trailer just to get an idea. I don't know why. And then when the dog was dead, I was like, she fucking killed the dog and sucked it.
Man, that would have been something. That would have elevated this movie.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, and she's religious. She's got to use the power of Christ to compel her or whatever. But no, unfortunately, that's not it at all. Camille. She's a religious teacher in some school, and she's in a relationship with Mark Cerny. And, it seems like they really have a general thing going on.
Yeah, like a professional relationship.
I mean, they're humping.
Yeah.
I guess.
They're like two adult professionals who have a thing at work, and they're in like a serious relationship.
Yeah. And he's sort of pressuring her to marry him because there's a chaplainship opening up at their college.
For two people.
Well, no, it's just for one person, but the guy goes,
The chaplainship of the college could well go to a man and woman together. But if we were to hire a man and woman team, they could not be suspected to be indulging in the physical pleasures of marriage without actually being married.
They must be married because religion is dumb as shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I'm calling it out right here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Show him that picture of Muhammad you got.
I'm glad if it comforts you.
Yeah.
But check this movie out for the absurdity.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought Camille was actually attractive.
Yeah, she's banging.
You know,
you say banging.
Yeah, and Petra's pretty good looking. The woman, she's walking her dog, and the dog somehow gets out, and she goes, "Where did the dog go?" And the lady goes, "I don't know, over there."
I'm the homeless lady that sells pencils, and I'm crazy.
I guess. And so she goes home and she looks down an alley and her dog is just laying there dead.
I saw your dog. He went that way, and I remembered it because you were not walking him, and he looked like he was late for an appointment.
Is this like a metaphor or something? Because she's dead. Or the dog's dead. It's a boy, actually. And she scoops up the dog and takes it upstairs.
It's a combination of looking super fake and also like having the heft of a real body.
Yeah.
It looks like a goddamn stuffed animal, but also it looks heavy.
She moves her mustard and she puts the dog in her refrigerator.
Do you think that maybe they got a stuffed animal and filled it with like meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
Money for nothing.
And dogs for free. Put them in the fridge.
And I mean, a significant amount of time goes by.
Do you know you don't put a dead animal in the fridge? You put it in the freezer.
I don't understand why.
You don't do either of those things, but if you do one of those things, it goes in the freezer.
No, because what you do is you either bury it
or eat it.
Not in a foot and a half of snow.
I know, right? I was so sad.
Or you take it like I did with my cat to the vet and they cremate him, for like $80.
Well, I sobbed uncontrollably while a nice young lady took my dog into the back of her station wagon and drove off, and I gave her money to cremate him. I was, man, the vet in Northeast Minneapolis are like, I think we have somebody that can help you. Just like a 22-year-old lady shows up and helps me take my leaking dead dog, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this dog. Like, he can't just like be in the house, he can't be in the garden. Do I dig a deep hole? I think that's bad for the water table. Thanks, lady.
So she leaves. She just puts the dog in her refrigerator for weeks.
That dog would rot.
Weeks.
Meat rots in the fridge.
Well, but not only that, like, she looks in the fridge once during the film, moments later, and is like, ugh. Like she was looking for a Sammy. All she sees is her doggy.
Would you want to eat anything that was in that fridge with that dead dog?
No, and that's why I wouldn't put a dog in the fridge. I would just deal with it right then and there. So she does that, though, and goes to do her laundry, and she's just weeping. And that's when Petra, she goes, "Hey girl, what you up to? You crying?" And she's like, "Yeah, my dog's dead." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna touch your arm though."
Do you want to lick my pussy?
And she goes, "No, I don't." She goes, "I'll tell you what, your laundry's done, my laundry's done. I'll just do it." And she takes out her business card.
And she looks pretty sus when she's bagging up that laundry. Like, you can tell she's up to something.
Plus she was stealing somebody else's laundry, maybe?
Yeah.
Like a real pixie. But that's not the case.
Was that, Fight Club, where she just goes in there and steals the clothes and sells them at the thrift shop.
Or stealing it right off the line in Roadkill.
Highway 61.
That's right. You're listening. she gets home, she takes out the clothes, and it's just tart dress after fucking tart dress. She's just like clutching her pearls. Oh my Lord. Does like a couple Hail Marys.
But I'm going to put this on.
Yeah. And her husband to be comes home and he goes, damn.
You look good, but you can't leave the house in this.
No, you can't. We're going to see the chaplain. Minister, Lord? Deacon. God,
our Lord Jesus Christ?
God's assistant. We're going to see him.
Oh, no shit.
And
is he one of the delivering Milo guys?
Uh-huh. But so apparently she just wears this and he's like, he grabs a sweater and she's like doing this during the meeting.
But if I undo the zipper, I can pull my breast out and it does not feel good because of the zipper.
So the chancellor's like, hey, all right, you're my, whatever is now.
But I know about your secret relationship, you little sluts.
Later. Oh, that's right. He does now. He goes, I know you hussies are huffing anus farts together. And
because he saw them earlier being like face to face. Like, that's not, did we talk that way to each other, Julia?
No. Not in front of old people.
Tuesdays, yeah.
Yeah. We got to we lock the door.
Right.
Jesus. And so he goes, I want you to be that, but you need to knock this chicanery off.
Yeah, marriage is important.
Yeah.
You guys can't be dating gross.
Right. Plus, how do you feel about homosexuals?
They're gross, right? Also,
just think about it. We'll get back to that.
Premarital sex and homosexuals, not good.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on people with pink hair.
So she finds the business card and she goes to get her clothing back.
I think pink hair was really scandalous back in the mid-90s.
It was. She goes to the circus where Petra lives because she's a circus freak. And Don McKellar runs the circus. And his wife is there.
In real life,
as his
real life wife.
Well, she's not his wife. She's his paramour.
In the movie. Yes.
Partner of sorts.
Yeah. I don't think they have a romantic thing. Do you think they do?
I kind of thought maybe they're brother sister. It's real weird.
Tracy Wright, is that her name?
Mm-hmm. She's looking good. So she mistakes Camille for someone important.
Yeah, they directed her to behind this curtain.
Go through this
audition. They assume she's there for an audition.
She goes, "Oh no, I have closing."
Petra, I need a Petra.
Yep.
And Tracy looks disappointed, but she's like, "Oh, she's over there.
Get out of here, though."
She's got a wheat sack she lays on over there."
And Petra apparently is the only one who has their own trailer because we never see any other trailers. And so she goes in, and Petra's just like, "Oh, hey, yeah, totally."
No. She goes over there. And she stands in front of this awful mirror where there's a shadow person dancing behind it with these balls of light. Oh, I hate this so much. Jenny was like, what the fuck is this? She made fun of it. I can't remember what she said, but it was funny. So that wasn't good.
So that goes on for far too long. And, lo and behold, it's Petra in a leather suit with a leather aviator hat on.
Oh, my God. She looks so stupid. But
she
it really
like
is.
Catwoman.
It is an extremely long time that she is watching that silhouette juggle these light balls. And then when she sees her in the leather outfit, there is Don McKellar behind her with two sets of lights that I guess he's in charge of making the balls look like she's juggling them.
Because she goes, do the third one. He goes, I only have to hand.
Oh, my God. I fucking hate it so much.
Tim, can we call it a night?
Petra, before we call it a night, I have an idea I'd like to try.
She's like bouncing it off her butt. Like
this circus would suck dick. We know they have a trapeze act that pretends like they're a single person.
I hate this.
And this shadow dancing, and maybe clowns on stilts that juggle.
I would like to talk more about my hatred of this circus. There's kind of a neat thing in the community of them, and like Don McKellar and Tracy Wright being the business people behind it. Like, I find that slightly interesting.
It is.
In the fact that Petra is like there and it's a group, but every single circus person sucks so hard. They look so stupid. It's so fucking lame. It's so 1995, like rave dirty circus. Fuck, it makes you want to throw up. It's so fucking lame to look at.
It's a benign exploration of homogenized sexuality through interpretive dance and movement. It sucks. It's bullshit. It's before
such bullshit.
It's before Cirque du Soleil managed to fucking worm its conniving, brainwashed shit. Yeah. Apparently, you could just walk around this circus with no issues.
It is an active circus the first time she goes there,
They're
right?
just practicing.
Are they? Because like that one guy is getting their, or it might have been a grandma is getting their tarot cards read or something.
They're playing a card game using enormous tarot cards.
So we like never see the circus actually in action?
No, never.
I hate it with a passion.
It feels like this would be opening up in the bottom floor of the Jazz Warehouse in Giant Steps.
Don't forget that Don McKellar's a story consultant.
Yeah, oh, sure.
Why? What is he doing?
I don't know.
I guess he's one of the most interesting characters, so maybe he...
I didn't look into it, so I'm like, well, maybe the writer-director is like a student of his or an up-and-coming collaborator that he just like, let me take hold of this.
God, you know, I got a little bit of the Keithies going on here where I'm just like, Don, can we ask you about this? I feel like it would be so insulting. He would think we were so rude. Because he'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? He'd just be like, I mean, it was the 90s.
No, he'd be like, I don't even remember that.
I bet he
I'm
does.
Don fucking McKellar.
No, I think he does. He's working with his wife.
Open your mouth. He spits at it.
I really felt like you were saying that to me. I didn't think you were, but it was aggressive. Is Jules still here? Because you guys are doing filmographies?
Yeah.
He looks cool in this. Can I be his hair and his like facial hair? He looks good.
A little bit of a dull right.
Yeah, his accent's strange.
He's leaning really into that nasally
Is it
Canadian.
like French Canadian?
Yeah.
He's got a real French Canadian.
It's awful.
From Montreal?
Mm-hmm. I like when he was trying to fix the power. And then eventually, after he shocks it a number of times, he goes, I think it's emanating from this fuse.
He's interesting in this.
So she doesn't want to, she's like, I want my clothes. And she goes, oh, word, but I want to down there. Smell it.
Did she say that right away?
Pretty much. She goes,
I switched the clothes on purpose.
no, this is so insane.
Okay.
She says to her the culminating line that brings Camille to an abrupt end because she was sort of receptive to it. She goes, Petra goes to Camille. She goes, Camille, I'd love to see you in the moonlight with your head thrown back and your body on fire.
I don't like that.
And Camille just goes,
You're going to
I
kill
don't like
me?
that shit. That's a fucking dumb line. It's not even attractive.
No, it sounds like you're going to hurt her.
And it's far too straightforward.
Yeah.
Clearly, this woman isn't,
I mean, you can get her there, but maybe don't start with that.
That's what I'm saying. She's not currently practicing.
Yeah, let's just hug for a little bit.
But
too
she's
long.
curious.
And I'm going to press into you.
Uh-huh.
Bitch. Yeah.
So she goes, no, I'm just going to bounce.
We'd be really good as lesbians luring other ones in.
Yeah. Taking their IDs and social security cards.
Can't get out of the basement.
So she bails. But she does divulge what she does for a living. So through that information,
Oh my God. I forgot about this part. Yeah.
Petra goes to her house and she's standing outside and she's using a child's bow and arrow to shoot an arrow through her window, which has a message attached to it.
Which is a photograph of like a sexy picture of her and another lady?
With her head thrown back and her body on fire.
She's not on fire.
No, it's not. But she's almost wearing like a sailor suit or something. She's marching around. She's really making a thing about it.
It's like a beret.
Outside
I think
the
it's
window.
a pea coat.
A sailor. What do sailors wear, Jason?
I don't know.
Peacoats.
Coats. Do they?
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, what?
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Why do you think they sell them at Old Navy?
Please don't call me names.
No, I did think. I thought you knew that.
No.
It's like a wool coat.
I don't know.
Probably gets really heavy when it's wet.
Well, they don't go in the water.
Well, but it rains when you're on the ship. So she just goes. Camille just goes outside because Petra's just like, "Yo, girl, apologize. Here's my phone number," and she goes, "Come here," and she comes into the lobby of her brownstone, and they just start making out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Never mind. I put my phone down.
Immediately.
This is the first time I'm interested in this movie. The level of like lust.
Did she touch her tit too? Did she
I don't
grab
know.
it?
Maybe it's
intense.
It is. It's erotic, man.
I'm like, damn, she's actually already there.
This is halfway to We Doing Boners. Check out our video podcast, We
Yeah.
Doing Boners on erotic movies.
She doesn't even need to get her addicted to heroin. She's
No.
already ready to go.
No,
She's
like
wrecked to go.
overwhelmed with lust.
But
It's
then
hot as fuck.
she runs away, gets into her car, and drives off.
From her own home.
Yeah.
The other Petra's just standing there in front of her house.
Yeah.
Being like, what?
No, she's in her house. She left her in the lobby. It's like you She's brown. Why the fuck you gonna let her in your house and
Yeah.
leave her unattended in the lobby?
Like, shoot her. You're gonna fucking
Jesus
take her on a
Christ.
Starlight
She's
tour.
gonna steal all of your VHS.
Oh, that's where you're going. Yeah.
And leaves. And so then she's at school and they do the meeting and the guy goes, hey, what do you think about this and that and the other thing? And she goes, oh yeah, church stance. And then he goes, what about gays? She goes, oh, well, I don't know because I'm a newfound lesbian, eh? And her husband's just like,
from Newfoundland?
and all the old guys are like, well, yes, but you do believe that we're right because we're bashing them, right? I mean, that's the church's stance. And she goes, I don't know. I'd have to think about it, eh? And he goes, oh, shit. So then the husband goes, I see what's going on here. You're just rebelling because you're worried about getting married. And they start hugging. And then Camille looks over his shoulder out the window. And Petra is sitting in a tree like 8 to 7 feet off the ground.
Yeah, when you were talking about her heading over to her house, I forgot about that part. And I thought we were immediately getting to her in the fucking trees, watching them like a creep.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Kirk Douglas pops in and he goes, let me tell you about your life.
This is too much, though, right? Like, I mean, I'm conflicted
Yes.
because I think in real life this shit doesn't work, but in this movie, like, these two have like such a weird sexual emotional connection where like stalking almost fits, but I think that's just the movie's programming me. I think stalking's never appropriate, probably. I don't know. I was raised on too many movies. They mixed me up.
The issue that I'm having is,
Yeah.
because I've done this.
This bitch in a tree?
Somebody tells you something about you. George Costanza, Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
Wait outside her office in the lobby.
Yeah.
What are you here for? I'm here to see Art Vandelay. He's a fucking architect. He makes railroads. You bump into her outside of her class.
You don't sit in a tree and watch her?
Just because she tells you that she's a Christian Scientologist, student, teacher, or whatever, doesn't mean that you can then divine where she lives. You might be able to see her on a rostrum.
I think the police come for you if you do the things she did.
And she teaches at this school. That's the length to which your information should extend, especially in 1992. There isn't Facebook.
95?
There isn't Facebook. So you find out where she works, and then you kind of maybe bump into her.
Yeah.
You don't just start shooting arrows through her open window.
When you bump into her, do you kind of try to get your knee to kind of rub her vagina as you bump into her?
Yeah.
To activate her?
Well, you bump into her because then she doesn't notice that you're taking her wallet.
Good.
It's the bump and grab.
Oh. And then? Mo money, mo money, mo money.
And so she sees her in the tree, and she's like, "What?"
Caesar in a tree?
Sees her in a tree.
The-
Caesar
from Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a damned ape, he says.
Eh? It's 1995. I'm Don McKellar in an ape suit.
I don't associate with James Franco anymore, though.
It's not. Well, they got rid. He was just in the first one.
Yeah, and then they mention him, I think, and maybe show old footage from the first one and the second one. So she know what? She goes, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start doing this chick.
Yeah.
And they have a very sensual lovemaking session that goes on for quite a bit of time.
This is when she shows up back at the circus.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. It seemed like she was just in a pile of pillows off to the side.
Watching
Yeah.
the trapeze act.
But they're in the trailer?
Let me ask you this.
Oh, but answer my question. Is this
They're
tie-in?
not in the trailer.
Oh, they are out
I think
in
she's
the open?
just in a pit of
pillows?
Yeah, and she just comes over and they start macking, and then they eventually end up in the trailer because that's where Bruce McGill finds them.
Henry Czerny. Bruce McGill was in Exotica and The Sweet Hereafter. We will fight you, Bruce, but the punches will just be compliments and the kicks to your face will be more compliments. No actual hurting.
Man. So, like, maybe she's so enraptured by her lust she doesn't even care if anybody sees?
Yeah.
That's cool. Whatever. It's a fucking circus full of losers. Who cares?
Were you paying attention during this movie?
I was paying attention during the sex scenes.
Was there a point where they were the trapeze artists?
No.
I think that's in the trailer. They do a trust fall, and it's them. But I also could be completely out of my mind.
I think it was man.
Like a deleted scene that just made it in the trailer because they're watching the thing, and I thought then it would morph to them as the trapeze artists. We don't see sex; we just see them
That's lame.
trapezing.
I'm much more excited to see the sex
Yeah, because there's tits
and sucking on them.
She fucks the hell out of her husband too.
Oh, yeah.
Before she goes over there.
That's shocking.
Her tits are big all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and she's riding on
Her
him.
nipples are hard. Her
And he's
back is
like,
arched. She's doing what the other lady describes, like she wants to do with her, but she's doing
Yeah.
with him.
She fucking destroys him.
She can't quite commit to the gay thing. It's like I like boy. No, I don't. I like vaginas.
And then she goes and gets some. And then that's when the preacher guy, he comes over and Petra's there, and she goes, just pretend like you're not gay.
This is terrible.
And
This is
it's
so
very
offensive.
weird.
She makes Petra button up. She goes and sits down at the table. Petra's real cold to the religious guy.
Yeah, whatever. Lord. He's the
Then
Lord.
he leaves. What gets God to walk away?
Well, he goes, I wanted to talk to you. And she goes, oh, word. This chick, she's...
I met her at the laundromat quite randomly. And we switched laundry by mistake. Just one of those things, you know. And she just came back to return mine.
All right, see ya, Petra. And she just sits there saying nothing. And he's like,
I'm going to go.
this is
Is that what makes him leave?
awkward. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah.
Did you ask me, did I actually pay attention to this movie? I mean, if they're boring, it's hard.
And then she runs after the chaplain, and she goes, oh, hey, she's just some...
Street kid, quite disturbed, really. And I can't seem to get her to leave.
She's a street person.
Thanks.
Racist coded.
Yeah. And I thought I could help her. And she's like, beyond reproach because of her skin color.
Right.
And he
It
goes,
very much seemed like she's saying that.
the boyfriend...
He's
the
watching
priest,
them in the trailer.
The
like
priest
a real-
doesn't tell him, right? The
No.
chaplain? He just goes because he doesn't know where she is. And he goes to her house because he goes, you're probably out walking your dog. Oh, your doggy's dead.
And she's not there.
So he comes over. I'm just coming over, boo.
Passes out on what appears to be the tiniest couch on the planet.
Yeah, and then over the shoulder, you see a queen-size bed. Just get,
It's directly behind him. I don't know if it's over the shoulder.
over his shoulder, framed in the next room.
I guess he feels like he shouldn't be in there.
Maybe. Go in there, handcuff yourself, and take a nap.
So, like, he's there for like 12 hours, it seems.
Yeah.
Until he's eventually, like, shuffling through her mail.
Her files.
While he's making a phone call or something.
Yeah, they're files. He's calling his call service to see if he has any calls on his service.
And then he finds that slut picture.
And the phone number and the card. So he goes down there. He does.
He's like, hey, where's this girl?
Yeah, now the whole time Don McKellar is having financial problems.
Yeah.
And Tracy
Right?
Price?
Right?
Yeah. She goes, hey, why don't you tell me about these problems, eh? And he goes, don't worry about it, eh? She goes, nah, I think I'm going to leave you.
Oh, so maybe they're in a relationship?
She's leaving. And she does. She packs up and leaves when he takes the troop to
San Francisco.
Sandy Franny. Yeah, because they're doing a
There's
circus.
a place. They pay everything.
It's a grant.
We're going there.
Some bullshit.
It's in America. We're in Canada. It makes sense they pay us to come there.
So the boyfriend, I was going to say the brother, the boyfriend.
He was very upset to see his sister having sex with a woman.
Hey. And I was like, there's 2 5s. And he watches them kissing.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, what do you think about us? And she goes, girl.
They're naked when they're kissing.
Oh, yeah. Well, Petra's dressed, but Camille is nude. But she's holding something to her bosom.
But if they were fully clothed and kissing, you'd be like, just friends.
And although the trailer has windows and Bruce McGill
Henry Zerny
is tall enough to see through all of them,
he's looking through
a hole in the paint in the wall?
No, I think it's a little chunk of window, but it's like
painted over?
I don't know.
Boarded
I think
up?
there's stuff there.
Well, so he's just aghast.
He's got a big eye. It's creepy.
And he hides when Camille comes out and leaves, and she trips on her high heels because she's got fuck body.
Wobbly.
And he just goes into the trailer, and Petra's like, what? And he goes, you Petra? Yeah.
Are you petrified of me?
I'm Jimbo. And then he leaves. She's just like,
I'm so
and he starts banging on the fucking trailer with his hands.
See, I miss this.
And she's inside like, and then he leaves. I think this whole time Don McKellar's just watching periodically stuff. He's not into Petra, right? Or is he?
Don McKellar?
Yeah.
No.
He's just a father.
I think they
To
know.
the freaks?
Yeah. She's a lesbian.
Well, but still, I mean, he could still be into it. Have you never seen Chasing Amy?
I think he's kind of a good dude.
Okay.
Sort of.
Okay.
Like, emotionally, if you know him, he's solid.
Yeah.
Like, he's a little shady with the business.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of like a Jesse Eisenberg in here. So they're moving, and she goes, "Hey, girl, look, I got to bounce. So figure out what you're doing, and then, if you want to come, you can come. But what would you do?" Yeah. She's like, "I want to come. I don't actually do anything other than teach Jesus."
Yeah.
And that's getting boring.
Not much to say.
So he's like, "Look, Camille,
I know it's wine o'clock.
I found your dog in the refrigerator.
Are we eating that? What are we doing?" Yeah.
Yeah, I realize now that you're a complete mess and you're just fooling around. But look, you were going to tell me something, but I want you to take some time to think and not put any thoughts to words just yet."
And also, this dog is rotting in your fridge. Did you mean to put him in the freezer? Are you stupid?
And he starts quoting scripture, and he's just like, because Austin 3:16 just whooped your ass, and all the good ones. And I think it's actually a kind of a well done moment where he's like, he's kind of saying like it's a phase, don't worry about it. But he's like, just finish it. Finish it.
Oh, Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Because I do want to be with you, and I think you want to be with me.
Yeah.
Remember when you were fucking the shit out of me the other night because you thought I was a woman or whatever?
That was rad.
Loved it. And so she goes, "Oh boy, I got a conundrum, eh?
She has like a deep French accent.
I'm gonna go drink some cherry brandy,
Yeah.
and pass out in the snow
God damn it.
because I'm a complete fucking idiot."
No, Julian, she is a fucking complete idiot because she goes out there to dig under the snow and bury the dog from the refrigerator.
In snow.
Not into the dirt. She goes out to where the snow will eventually melt. Buries the dog in the snow. And then she drinks because she's gay and it's hard.
She's not even using a spade shovel. She's just using a winter snow shovel.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, is that permafrost? Like, that's going to melt. And the dog's going to eventually come back to life. So, so yeah, she's just like, "Oh boy, I'm conflicted." And she takes a shot and then just lays down.
In the fakest snow you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it just starts snowing like boxed potato on her.
Yeah. I was not gay in the mid 90s. Okay.
Oh,
but
okay.
like she has a girlfriend basically already. She might be being rejected by her boyfriend, who she can't be with, and religion where she works, but she has a support system. You do not need to go die in the snow. This isn't like everybody has abandoned you and there's nothing and you're considered a monster by everybody.
I think some of the problem is that they went so far into pixie territory with Petra.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't seem like a real person. And she even says to Don McKellar, "I think she's just experimenting."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, what about you?" And she has a really good moment where she just looks at him and she's just like, "I'm fucked." I love this bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the climbing in the trees, the whole circus thing, her brash approach, her pixie haircut. I don't know. I feel like there's room for a little bit more nuance here. And the movie just doesn't really care for it.
No. It really is a pixie situation because the main character is, what's her name? Claire?
Camille.
Camille. Claire. Claire's pretty fleshed.
Claire Huxtable, Camille.
Her whole situation's doing pretty good. She's I don't know if interesting is the right word, but she's detailed. You're completely right. The other girl is completely a pixie. There's nothing to it other than her being a whimsical, sexy lady that just wants to eat her pussy.
The issue also, though, is that with Camille, we don't get an impression that before any of this, she was stifled or suffocating.
No.
She seems very boring.
Yeah.
And into what she's doing. Then all of a sudden, because of the loss of her dog, this chick comes onto her and she, rebuffs her quite immediately. But then immediately thereafter, she's just like, "Oh yeah, we're going to tongue tonsil here." And
but also I'll rebuff you again.
I'm going to run away.
You talked about the vampire drinking that dog down. I don't think we ever talked about how this dog disappeared. She finds it in an alley, but it's like a walking alley. It's not big enough for a car.
It feels like a New York alley.
So it's like, did this dog get hit by a car and crawl into the alley to die, but it doesn't seem injured at all?
Right.
Did this dog run away because it knew it was going to die, but also it didn't die, which we're about to discover in 5 more minutes?
Did it run away and pretend to be dead to be the catalyst for everything that occurs in this film?
But
if so, why?
But then it would actually be dead because you put it in the refrigerator and not the freezer if it wasn't dead initially.
And it's, not drank water or eaten food
or
done anything.
It would need to be frozen solid to survive what you put it through.
A super deep space freeze, which this isn't. So it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense because first we don't even see the dog leave. She's under the impression that it left, and then she just finds it lying there.
I kind of thought somebody stole it. I thought maybe the dean,
Yeah.
whatever he is, took her dog.
I just thought it was whatever. It didn't really matter. This was just going to lead her to something.
So she's drinking in the snow.
Yeah.
And this reminds me wonderfully, and I thought this movie had some balls for a minute, of, I think it's season 1 of Yellow Jackets, where they're all stranded in the mountains on this place, and they're kind of slowly dying, but eating whatever meat they can find. One girl has a fight with the whole group of people and goes to sleep outside, and it's the first snowfall of the season, and you're in her head having dreams. So she's having dreams, and the dreams slowly start to get a little bit scary. They're her death dreams. It's really fucking disturbing. She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
They find her in the morning frozen to death. That's what I thought was happening here. And I thought this movie had some fucking real nuts on it. And I was like, this is a stupid movie, and they keep killing off these lesbians in the Discovery movies, but at least there's something to it. But, Julian, she's having those dreams of swimming in the water?
Oh, yeah. She's
Naked?
trapped under ice. Yeah.
And it's like, wow, also a death dream.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
But
then some guys who do
what do they do?
Hang gliding, but they catapult you into the air.
Oh my god, we never talked about that hang gliding sequence. It's stupid. It's not
She
what we're
passes
talking
out.
about. Yeah. And Petra has to guide them to the ground.
Yeah, and then they, are in love at that point. But so they come walking out for some reason in the middle of the night, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of a snowstorm.
Oh, I dropped my strap. Holy shit, guys, there's a body over here.
Hey, it's that broad that we saw for like a minuscule moment weeks ago. So she is dying, and the guys call an ambulance, but it takes, hours.
And apparently Petra can get there sooner because they know Petra.
Yeah, they give her a call, and she just steals a car and like hot tails it over there and goes to the bush.
The ambulance will be here any minute, Petra.
It's been so long that they built a tent around her.
There's only one thing I can do.
So yeah,
I'm gonna take off my clothes and get in there.
So Petra, she goes, well, let's get her in the car, eh? And they go, no, they told not to do that.
We can't move her. She might have a spinal injury. Even though she just seems real cold. Seems like you should bring her in the car and turn on the heat.
Yeah, just fart on her, eh?
Yeah. Why don't you take off your clothes and kind of hump on her a little bit and talk about how you'll treat her good?
And she does that.
Oh, I promised to love her. And I promised to cherish her. And to follow her. And to lead her. Anywhere.
So she wakes up mid, psychotic rant. Yeah. And she goes, oh, God, I'm feeling a little...
I love you too, Petra.
Tingly from the fact that I was frostbitten. And they become circus folk together. And the husband, he's just sitting in a coffee shop the whole time.
But Tracy Wright gets dropped off by...
Well, she sees him.
What, coffee cart?
After he banged on the caravan.
Oh.
And she goes, hey, here's a Kleenex, eh? And he goes, oh, word. And she goes, can I do anything? And he goes,
his dick.
No. I knew right there. So then outside the coffee shop, she looks back and he looks at her. Probably doesn't recognize her. And nothing probably comes from that.
You what? No, they're together now. They're in love.
She's his Tammy Faye Baker.
She's going to find Jesus and start teaching at that college.
And having sex with the Mexican pool boy on the down low.
Julian, let me ask you a question. What is Camille eating out of that jar? Is she eating like beads at the end when they're in the camper driving along in the circus? She's like eating something out of a jar.
I can't tell you, and I'll tell you why I can't tell you. Because at this point, I was just like, whatever.
I'm so glad this movie's over.
It wasn't a slog, and I actually liked it quite a bit. But
you liked this movie quite a bit? It's way better than Camille.
It was. I think that's by proxy. coming out. I mean, if I'd have watched this cold, I'd have been like, "This ain't it."
Yeah, this movie's flat, but it's not unbearable.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It just doesn't seem to need to exist.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, I mean, you needed gay cinema.
Like high art, it's different. Maybe because it's better, but this just sort of feels like a miss. It's almost like a recruitment video for Lilith Fair attendees. Curious?
Yeah. You know what? I don't like penises, but I do like kissing. Wow, I think you like this movie more than me.
It was fine.
What'd you give Camilla?
4.5.
Yeah, it's fucking real valid.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give this a 5.
Okay, I was almost gonna give it a 5.5, but when you said 5 out loud, I was like, yes.
I was gonna give it a 6, and then I said 5.
That's not.
And I thought, you know what? That's about right. It works to some extent.
I really just find the lust between them to be compelling. I find the lust to be really the driver behind everything, and I think the rest of the movie is pretty boring. And that circus sucks so much balls.
Backdropped with that circus, it just doesn't work.
No, conceptually, yes. Actuality, no.
No.
I like Don. I like Tracy.
Yeah.
All the other motherfuckers. There's like a guy with like VHS or tape, like cassette tape in his hair, like dancing around. There's like everybody looks so stupid. Yeah. It's like people that are supposed to be maybe at a rave because they're on drugs, but it's daylight and bright, and they're just dorks moving around. It's like there's no flashing lights. You need pulsing music. You need to be on so many drugs for this to happen. And these are just like gross pieces of shit moving around.
They feel like ancillary henchmen from the Penguins gang and Batman Returns.
Oh, sure.
You know, like they're circus folk, but they're slightly menacing and maybe, engaged in crime.
I don't think they're menacing at all, right? Yeah. They're like gross and you won't want to interact with them, but they're not menacing.
I don't want to.
They seem like they'd probably be nice, but like I wouldn't want anything to do with them.
I wouldn't want them to come over to my house.
No, yeah, I was thinking if they knocked on your door, I'd be mad. I'd come out there and start screaming at them, "Get the fuck out of here!"
I told you to go around the back.
I'm in the garage.
My wife is here. My wife!
Yeah, you said 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5er. This movie sucks.
Don McKellar?
He's interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of like his character. His look is more interesting. I don't know. It's like kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 6. 6.5. Oh, okay. I'm pretty drunk.
I'm gonna give it a 6. I was gonna say let's do it on 3.
I know. I can tell now. As soon as you started 1, 2, and I said my number, I was like, oh, it was a count of 3, and I fucked it up. Eh?
We could have redone it, but we don't do that. We keep it fresh, live.
He's not bad. He's another different guy.
Right, because they kind of paint him a little bit shady. They kind of paint him this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, he's just a, well-intentioned Canadian boy.
He's got his eyes on the prize, even if the prize is garbage. Whatever they... Like, what the fuck
He somehow
is this?
lands them this dope gig. So, hey, we're on Facebook, Instagram.
Did we do all the things?
We didn't do any of the things.
Well, I mean, do we wrap up the movie?
Yeah. I did the rating. You did the rating. We did the Don rating. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 7.
I might have said 6.5.
I may have said a 6. In fact, that's exactly what happened.
Facebook, Reddit, YouTube,
Instagram,
Threads,
Discord.
We Doing Filmographies.
Yep.
Email us at wedoingfilmographies@gmail.com. Text us at 763-634-1897. You can leave a voicemail as well.
Yep. We're on the nowplayingnetwork.net.
That's right.
You can review us on podcasts via Apple and suggest a film to watch.
Can you pick Cirque du Freak for us so someone can watch it?
Hey, John, call us in.
John?
John C. Reilly. He's a listener.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's really cool.
It is.
He doesn't like to talk about himself.
It's sad for him. But
would he talk to us about his life? He won't do podcasts. He was famously on WTF with Mark Maron.
I didn't know that.
And would not talk about his movies or his process or anything.
Why was he there?
I mean, that's the question. It was still like an interesting podcast, but like Mark was like, what?
They talk about like current affairs.
Talks about he took clowning courses, I think, overseas, and like talked about the process of being a clown. Okay, so we'll see you next week with what is the next movie?
Oh, Jesus.
My phone's charging. You're responsible for this.
Did I take a picture?
Which one is Joe So Mean to Josephine? Is that number 10? I Fucked Picasso. Is that tomorrow?
Probably. I thought I took a
Giant steps too.
even bigger.
Arvo's back.
And he's a fucking mass
I
moiterer.
gotta pee.
Join us next week for Never Met Picasso. Did he ever meet Picasso? Nope. He's been Jason, and I've been Jules. And fuck you. And good night, folks.